The first time they called me a terrorist, I was holding a paintball gun and wearing pajama pants. And honestly, I've had worse mornings. Delilah Winters stood at that podium like she was announcing a royal decree, calling me violent, unstable, a threat to community safety, all because I shot down a $3,000 drone that had been hovering outside my 16-year-old daughter's bedroom window while she was changing. Yeah, that happened. Let me back up a sec. 6 months earlier, I'd moved into Willowbrook Estates thinking I'd found the kind of quiet suburb where the biggest drama would be someone's dog pooping on the wrong lawn. I'm Rex Caldwell, 45, divorced electrician, full custody dad to a smart, stubborn, incredible kid named Sage. After the divorce, I wanted a reset for both of us. Fresh paint, trimmed hedges, predictable neighbors. You know what I mean? Stability. The realtor kept saying community standards, like it was a feature. Should have known that was code for, you're about to meet someone with too much time and a clipboard. Enter Delilah Winters. Blonde bob sharp enough to slice bread, floral perfume that lingered like a warning, smile that never reached her eyes. She showed up on day 18 with a measuring tape and informed me my shed violated setback requirements by 14 inches. I showed her the city permit, stamped, approved, legal. City codes don't supersede HOA covenants, she chirped. $500 fine. Next day. Mailbox wrong shade of black. $200. Christmas lights down 1 day late. $150. Sage's basketball hoop, excessive noise, at 3 in the afternoon. $300. It wasn't enforcement, it was target practice. Mrs. Finley, my 72-year-old neighbor with trembling hands and a heart bigger than this whole subdivision, leaned over one afternoon and whispered, "She's targeting you, dear. The rest of us don't get hit this hard." That night I read the HOA covenant book. 50 pages of legal soup designed to fine you for breathing with the wrong aesthetic alignment. But here's the thing, I'm an electrician. My entire career is documentation. Every wire labeled, every junction recorded. So I started documenting them. Photos of every inspection. Audio recordings of every conversation. Video when I could. Then Delilah unveiled her masterpiece. At our next board meeting, she said, glowing like she'd just invented fire, we're implementing comprehensive property compliance monitoring through advanced aerial technology. Translation? They bought a drone. A DJI Phantom 4 Pro. $3,000 of flying paranoia funded by our own HOA dues. No homeowner vote. No transparency. First time I heard it, it sounded like an angry wasp slicing through the morning quiet. I stepped outside with my coffee and watched that white machine hover over my backyard, camera gimbal swiveling like a robotic eyeball hunting prey. Sage stepped onto the porch. "Dad, what's that?" "Our HOA's new hobby," I muttered, already recording. At first, it circled houses randomly. Then patterns emerged. It lingered over families with teenagers, followed kids during sleepovers, hovered over backyard dinners like a mechanical vulture. One Tuesday, it descended directly over Sage while she was studying outside on a blanket. Garrett Bloom, HOA vice president and professional clipboard hugger, stood on the sidewalk operating it like he was filming a wildlife documentary. "Public airspace," he smirked when I told him to get it away from my daughter. He cited a rule about improper outdoor seating arrangements. I blinked. She's reading. Blankets are unauthorized ground coverings. That's when I knew this wasn't petty. This was obsession. I posted videos in the neighborhood group. Messages flooded in. The Millers said it followed their dog. Sarah Martinez caught it outside her toddler's window. Mrs. Finley's granddaughter thought it was hunting her. Then came the fines avalanche. Grass 3.2 inches. Unauthorized social gathering. Sage and one friend eating burgers. They weren't enforcing rules. They were manufacturing crimes. And then the twist hit me. Garrett wasn't flying randomly. He followed a sequence. Specific houses. Specific kids. Extended hover time outside bedroom windows. This wasn't surveillance. It was stalking. The breaking point came on a Friday night. Sage had 2 friends over for a birthday sleepover. I heard screaming upstairs, the kind that strips the blood from your face. I ran up and saw 3 teenage girls huddled together, pointing at the window. That drone was pressed right up against the second-story glass. Garrett stood in the street below, filming. "Unauthorized overnight guest documentation," he said when I confronted him. That night Sage told me, "I'm never having friends over again, Dad. I feel watched all the time." Something in me snapped like a wire pulled too tight. Sunday morning, 6:30 a.m., that buzz returned. right outside her window while she was getting dressed. Nuclear option time. I grabbed my old Tipman paintball gun from the garage, 20 years since I'd used it. Loaded high-velocity paintballs. Phone recording in my pocket. The drone hovered 30 feet away. Smile for the camera, I muttered. Thwack! Orange paint exploded across the gimbal. The machine spiraled into my rose bushes with a sound so satisfying it should have had its own soundtrack. Garrett ran over screaming about $3,000 in damages. You were filming my daughter getting dressed, I said, recording his meltdown. Neighbors emerged. Mrs. Finley gave me a thumbs up. I reached the wreckage first. And that's when my electrician brain made the play of the century. The micro SD slot was intact. I pocketed it. 48 hours later, they served me with a lawsuit. Damages. Punitive fines. Restraining order. They were coming for my house, my savings, everything. But that memory card? It changed the game. 43 video files. 6 weeks of systematic surveillance. Bedrooms. Bathroom windows. Telephoto zoom through glass. Timestamps proving patterns. Then file 27. Delilah herself entering backyards while families were gone. Planting violations. Photographing them. Removing evidence. Manufactured fines. 3 families foreclosed in 18 months. Buyer at sheriff's sale? Delilah's real estate company. Resold at 40% markup. This wasn't harassment. It was organized fraud wrapped in HOA authority. My lawyer friend Jake watched the footage and whispered, Rex, this is federal. We looped in Rebecca Martinez from the Civil Rights Division. She reviewed the evidence and actually laughed. Most clear-cut federal case I've seen in 5 years. Mail theft. Fraud. Conspiracy. Stalking of minors. Civil rights violations. We set a trap. I deliberately placed a garden gnome 14 inches from the property line, 1 inch illegal. Motion-activated cameras everywhere. At 2:15 a.m., Garrett snuck in. Planted more violations. Mutters caught on audio. Nobody fights the HOA and wins. Next morning, violation notice citing the exact items he planted. Prosecutorial gold. Delilah panicked. Offered me $5,000 and an NDA to settle quietly. I recorded every word. You want me to hide federal crimes? I asked. She went pale when I told her the FBI already had the footage. Friday night HOA meeting, community center packed. 87 residents. Channel 7 news in the back. Delilah opened by calling me a terrorist. I walked to the projector, plugged in my laptop. High-def footage of Garrett planting evidence filled the screen. Gasps. Silence. Then clips of drone footage targeting children's windows. Then financial records tying foreclosures to Delilah's company. That's when 3 federal agents stood up. FBI. Handcuffs clicked. Garrett tried to run, tackled by the Johnsons' linebacker son. Delilah screamed it was fake. I held up the memory card. Sometimes you have to document a surveillance state before you can destroy it. Applause erupted. 6 months later, Delilah got 4 years federal prison. Garrett 3. Maxine 18 months after flipping. $127,000 refunded to homeowners. Mrs. Finley's foreclosure dismissed, plus a settlement that changed her life. The old HOA dissolved. Reformed with transparency, resident votes, strict surveillance bans. Sage started a privacy rights club at school. 43 members. The old drone budget now funds a playground. And me? I got elected to the new board, Director of Oversight and Common Sense. We made that title up. I kind of love it. Here's the thing. When I smashed that drone, I thought I was just protecting my daughter. I had no idea I was pulling a thread that would unravel a criminal enterprise. So let me ask you something. If a drone hovered outside your kid's bedroom window at dawn, would you wait for permission to defend your family? Or would you grab whatever was in reach and take it down? Where's the line between following rules and fighting back when the rules are weaponized? I'd genuinely love to hear your take, because this whole nightmare taught me something I'll never forget. The best security system isn't a drone. It's neighbors who refuse to stay silent when power gets abused. Tell me, what would you have done?